afternoon and welcome to today's edition of The Buzz, the show that brings social media closer to you. It's a lovely Monday and I hope you had a most restful weekend like I did. Welcome to the show. It's Monday the 12th of March 2018. My name is Patience Belukafo. I welcome you warmly to today's program. Alera is here as well. Good afternoon, Alera.
Good afternoon, Patience. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
Great.
Definitely a beautiful Monday afternoon to you all there. And today's edition of The Buzz, as usual, promises to be insightful and interesting. As we've got, I'm always so proud of our guest on Monday.
First of all, it's not easy to leave everything you're doing on the first work day of the week and be part of a TV show.
So we
always appreciate you being members of the panel. Thank you so much for coming. All right, having said that, let's quickly get into it. Let's introduce our guest on the show. They are both regulars by now. We have a public relations expert, and he's also
social critic, like you have.
I know you're a social critic.
I'm not a social critic.
I wanted to add one more title. He's a shrewd businessman as well. Yes, a shrewd businessman. Mr. Ikem.
Oh, cool.
Thank you for joining us.
I welcome myself, but I'm not a social critic. Social commentator, yes.
Social commentator. Yeah, it's one and the same thing. All right, on the other end of the table there, he is the President Brand Journalist Association of Nigeria, and he's also a renowned journalist in his own right, Mr. Godi Ofose. Good afternoon, Mr. Ofose.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, remember the show is interactive, so we urge you to interact with us on the show using all of our social media portals.
Yes, using the hashtag The Buzz on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Galaxy TV, and also on Twitter at official Galaxy TV. And yes, you could get to watch previous editions of the program. That's if probably you have issues with PHCN, or that's true. You can get to catch that up by our YouTube channel. That is Galaxy TV Nigeria.
Okay, and remember you can also send SMS only to the number 0708 7407508. The number is going to be on the screen in the course of the show. All right, let's get down to it, gentlemen. It's been a very interesting weekend. News after news after news hitting the headlines. We had to juggle between ourselves to know which one to bring first today. Okay, the first story is on Governor Okorocha of Imo State. A few weeks ago, the Imo State Governor, Rochas Okorocha, declared his support and endorsement of his son-in-law, Uche Umosu, who also doubles as his chief of staff as the next governor of Imo State, and he's going to come out under the platform of the APC. Now, Okorocha's endorsement of Umosu has sparked a row in the state. Some APC members in the state have come out to condemn the action by the governor, describing it as unjust and lacking due process. In the next footage you're going to see, we'll hear Governor Rochas trying to defend his decision, and also we'll hear from some of the party members on this issue. We'll take that and we'll be back quickly.
Possesses great qualities of a great leader. If it's your desire that will run for the office of the governor, I will support it.
We call on Governor Owele Rochas Okorocha to act as a true unifier, a leader, to ensure a level playing field for all APC aspirants in all positions. To that effect, we reject in its entirety the endorsement or endorsements or adoption of Uche Nwosu as being currently carried out in our party across the state.
that this particular governor has been constantly in the news, you know, over one issue or the other, especially bordering on him trying to pull in family members, close family members, you know, into his cabinet. First, we heard that he appointed his sister as
Commissioner for Happiness.
Commissioner for Happiness
and purpose fulfillment.
And something to do with loneliness as well, you know, and that sparked a lot of talks. And now this, Uche Omosu is married to his first daughter, and he's already his chief of staff, and now he's endorsing him to take over from him come 2019. Let me ask, is this in line with the precepts of true democracy?
It is not out of line
Okay.
of the precepts of true democracy, as you said, but it smells very, very uninterestingly of nepotism. Uche Nwosu is a human being, is a citizen of Nigeria and of Imo State, bona fide as it is. He is eminently qualified. Rochas also has that right to say, okay, I am supporting this person.
Okay.
But to the extent that there are track records of sustained favoritism around your immediate family members, that is what raises the big question mark.
Okay.
I think this may perhaps be our biggest export in this democracy, because it appears as if we were the ones who taught Donald Trump how to put family members around certain strategic government offices.
That's true.
But it is not the best thing for Imo State. It is not the best thing for healthy competition, especially given the challenge that everybody is expecting that APC was going to face in Imo State and in many other parts of the country in the coming elections.
Okay.
Rochas has a lot of issues bordering on integrity, bordering on propriety already. And adding some of these things to them, I don't think it is something that he should be left to manage alone. I think it is something the hierarchy of the party at the highest level should step in and tell him, keep this thing on the low, manage it a lot more properly so that we don't adversely have a takeout at the end of the day. But if it is whether it is within his rights, it is. But whether it is the best food he has to put forward, I think it is not.
It's not.
All right. Do we actually see, because to some people, they believe that Okorocha happens to be over-ambitious. Do you actually see him as a governor that is over-ambitious?
Well, let's do this.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think every politician is ambitious.
Otherwise, you won't vie for office.
Yes, you won't vie for office. Like Ikem just said, I just want to also buttress on that a little. I think it's not out of place for Okorocha to ask for his son-in-law. Just imagine if the chief of staff wasn't his son-in-law. Okay, what would have happened? Would all these views, okay, been raised? Now, what Okorocha is trying to do is alien to our democracy. It's alien to our own environment.
Okay.
Someone would say that such things has happened again. You have a Bush family in the United States. The father was the president.
And then the son became a president. But was it the father who like pulled the son in?
He must have actually had a buy-in from the house before he comes out to say, I want to contest.
Okay.
It might not be like what Okorocha is going about. How Okorocha is going about it right now. Because when you look at it, you find out that Okorocha might have borrowed this book from what is happening in America.
I don't think you're very correct, my brother.
Okay.
In the US case, there was no a time it was recorded that either Bush the father or Bush the son or Bush the brother came all out to say, because you know there were three of them there.
Yes.
The other one was in the presidency, the other one was in Texas, the other one was in, I think, Florida, as governors at the same time. Jeff Bush, who contested for president with Trump then during the primaries, he was a governor in one state. I think Florida, where one election was manipulated during the, who was that?
That's an aside.
Yeah. By the way, the Bush thing never came out that the Bush father or the Bush senior said, my son, you are going. This one, there has been mobilization. Traditional rulers in Imo State were gathered at a meeting once, and the only thing they were gathered to do was to endorse the candidature of this boy. Even this guy, even before Rochas came all out to declare. Yes, it is within his rights, but it is not right. Especially you are carrying the whole party. Even if you're going to make such things, it's not in the open for now. Allow the party walk a bit underground, walk a bit behind the scenes, and push the person you have
your candidate up.
Not coming out to tell the party because you're the leader that this my person is going to be governor.
All right, I think.
But I think is that not what has been happening in our environment?
Godfatherism.
Yes, go to Ekiti State. Why are we not crying over Ekiti State? Because Ekiti deputy governor, whom Ayo Fayose has handpicked to replace him, is not his relative.
Yes.
Now, my own is that my question is this: you see, we have a way of doing things in Nigeria, and in US they have a way of doing things. In US, we might not call on traditional rulers to endorse someone, but there is a way to go about it. That is their own tradition. I am not supporting what Okorocha is doing, but I'm saying that it is not out of place, but it is also now for the party. Okorocha's son-in-law is just an aspirant. He's not a candidate yet. And I also learned that the his deputy governor has also declared also to contest for that office under the same APC. So it is now left for the party members to choose between Okorocha's son-in-law and the deputy governor and whoever that is also coming.
I'm assuming that before a governor would come out with such a big decision, because it is a big decision to endorse someone as the next, overall of a state. Before you come out and announce such a decision, I'm thinking you would have run it by your party to see that everybody is, almost everybody's on the same page with you and all that. Now, those who are coming out to protest this are members of his own party. So, I mean, that smells of, some sort of diversity, even within the party itself, within Imo State. But then again, can we look at the reason why Rochas says he made this decision? According to him, he said all that indicated interest in his seat, only Nwosu, his son-in-law, qualifies for the job. Apart from the fact that he's below 50 years of age, he has the capacity to immediately drive the state to his desired destination. Are we trying to say, aside for his son-in-law, which could be a coincidence, by the way, so let's not assume anything. Aside from that man, there's nobody else in the entirety of Imo State who can take Imo State where they want Imo to be. Is that what we're trying to say?
I don't think Okorocha is in that position to say that.
But that is his statement.
That is his statement. It's his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. Before Okorocha became the governor of Imo State, who was the governor of Imo State? We have several governors of Imo State who did even better than what he's doing. So he doesn't have that right to say that. For me, that is his opinion. So that opinion borders on nepotism, what he wants to achieve. Perhaps he has some certain things to cover up, and that's why he wants to put his son-in-law there, who he will trust so much not to betray him. All right? So Okorocha, they have 1,000,001 person in Imo State that can run Imo State even better than Okorocha.
All right, now, Mr. Ikem, I actually want to take you on godfatherism in politics, because do you think that's actually ideal for the young to run? Because you need to have one.
Not too young to run, Bill.
One big godfather up there.
Must you always have a godfather for you to
because it just looks as if they're just imposing a candidate on the people.
Now, let's draw some distinctions here.
Okay.
There's a difference, a very clear difference between godfatherism in this real sense and imposition.
Okay.
In business, in my career as a journalist, I've had godfathers. I could mention their names, who mentored me, who told me the best approach to write stories, who helped me get the next job. In business, I've had godfathers, people who believe that I have the track record to do this, and they stood by me to make sure I did that job. But when those people start coming back to determine how I do that job, which they had entrusted on me based on their perceived competencies, that is where we have a problem. And that is what the problem of godfatherism here. Somebody somewhere has to sell you to the public, to the masses, that this person has capacity to deliver on these and these and these goals. Because that person who is now the godfather already has a pedigree. He's out there in the public, larger than you. Probably he has been here, he has been there. And he's in a position to say, this person can do this, let's trust him. Because of that pedigree, people will now follow and trust. But when you now hoist somebody on people without properly marketing that person, when you force it down on that person, and even after that, you continue to determine how that person manages the position he has already won or selected, as it were, in political space, that is where we have a problem. Godfatherism is not wrong. It shows that somebody has so much trust in somebody that he wants him to go this far for the rest of the people. But the intentions of the godfather, which is where we have problems in Nigeria, that is where we put question marks on. I can't become the governor of Enugu State, where I come from, without some people selling me to the people. I can't even win ordinary councillorship position in my local government. Now, as it were, if some people don't believe that Ikem can do this and that, somebody may be prime in pushing that agenda for me to get that position. When I become the councillor, what the person does with me while I'm occupying the position is a different thing. You understand? Godfatherism, yes. We need it to identify competent people who will lead.
I'd like to describe that more like mentoring. You know,
do we actually see that practicing
like
in Nigeria in our political sphere?
If we do it properly.
In Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Ofose, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think I agree with Ikem to what he has just said. I believe that godfatherism should be a mentoring way of bringing people up. Okorocha is the governor of Imo State. Okorocha should be able to put himself up for integrity test, for people to follow him, to look at and say, this is our governor, and I want to be like him. In Southwest today, everybody's talking about Awolowo. Awolowo was never a godfather to any politician. But if you want to win election today in the Southwest, you behave like him.
You go and wear his cap.
You go and wear his cap. Do you understand? Okay. So that should be the way out for me.
All right. Well, still on Imo State, a lot of party members, are coming out, especially those who are under the ages of the Youth Association, and they are saying this decision should be rescinded because it is not in the best interest of the people. All right, whether or not Uche Nwosu will be the next governor of Imo State is something we'll all have to wait.
I don't think he will be.
Why don't you think so? Anyways, he has come out to say that he's not going to be a puppet.
Yeah, no, he's not going to be a puppet.
We're not expecting him to say that. We're not expecting him to come and say, I'm going to be a puppet.
Okay.
But if APC, I know a lot of people in Imo State. I know. At a point, Imo State had the largest contingent of professors, at least in the entire old Eastern Nigeria, which includes the present Southeast and South-South. They have the most educated set of people there. If they force Uche Nwosu on APC as their candidate, I'm very sorry. PDP has a chance to take that. Not has a chance. People will protest.
Because even the party,
So it's not even. That's why when I said earlier that the national leadership of the party should step in.
They have.
Okay.
They have, because they've actually warned. They've actually warned. Yeah, because they've actually warned the state so that they don't have to lose that particular state to the opposition party.
For me, there's something fundamentally wrong about our political system.
Okay.
If something happens to a ruling party in a state or federal, it now looks like the entire life of that state revolve around that party. Now, we have APC. There is SDP coming out. There is PDP. Why all the noise about youth in Imo State says rescind that decision as if it's only one party that we are going to present for the election?
Exactly.
We don't need all of those things. What you need to do is go out there and vote on the day of the election.
If you don't want a candidate,
if
vote
the guy
against
manipulates his candidate and he gets the ticket of the APC, because absolutely, if he gets the ticket of the APC, then he's going to stand for election. Then you are going to vote for. You remember what happened in the
If
2015
those
election?
If those youths are members of the APC in the state,
Okay.
you understand? Because there are vested interests. If they are members of the APC, then it is their call to cry out now.
which they are doing.
Which they're doing.
Uh-huh.
So
So
the
they can-
APC youth.
Yes,
If-
APC
okay,
youths,
okay.
yes.
If
That's
they are
what
members of the
they are the
party-
ones that came out to say, no, you can't do this.